Ever fantasized about living that Silicon Valley dream? You know, the one where you're like rubbing shoulders with tech moguls,
Yes.
sipping champagne on a championship golf course. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into a world that just might make that fantasy a reality. Silver Creek Country Club.
And what's really intriguing here is that our source material isn't some glossy brochure or a slick website.
Right.
We're peering into this exclusive community through a podcast script.
Okay.
Essentially a sales pitch aimed at attracting wealthy residents in, let's see, 2025.
It's like a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Exactly. We get to decipher the sales tactics and unearth the real story.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good.
First up is the location. The script highlights Silver Creek's prime location in the rolling hills of San Jose.
Nice.
It's like they're saying, you can have your Silicon Valley cake and eat it too.
Oh.
All the benefits of being close to the action, but with an added layer of tranquility and escape.
It's a strategic play that taps into a growing trend, especially in the post-pandemic world.
Yeah.
Even those deeply embedded in the fast-paced tech scene are craving a sense of sanctuary.
I can see that.
Space, nature, a slower pace of life. These are becoming the new luxury, even in the heart of Silicon Valley.
And speaking of luxury, the script really lays it on thick when it comes to the amenities.
Oh, yeah.
Gourmet dining, state-of-the-art fitness facilities, family-friendly activities. I mean,
It's a haven of indulgence.
wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But here's where it gets really fascinating.
Okay.
The script isn't just selling amenities.
Right.
It's selling a meticulously crafted lifestyle,
Interesting.
exclusivity, a sense of belonging to a select group, the subtle but potent message that you made it.
Yeah.
They're tapping into a deep-seated human desire for both belonging and distinction.
So it's like they're saying, you can be part of a community, but it's a community for the exceptional few.
Precisely.
I'm picking up on some interesting psychology at play here.
Exactly, and this interplay between community and exclusivity is further emphasized in the architecture and design choices of the homes themselves. Architectural variety, luxury features, cutting-edge technology seamlessly blended with traditional opulence. It all screams status and caters to a specific set of values.
It's like they're saying, you've worked hard, now reward yourself with a home that reflects your success.
Right.
But let's not shy away from the elephant in the room, the money.
Yeah.
The script boasts about strong real estate appreciation, claiming luxury homes in Silver Creek have appreciated by an average of 7% annually over the past 3 years.
Wow.
Is this realistic or just clever marketing?
Well, a 7% annual appreciation rate is certainly significant,
Yeah.
and it suggests a robust market. However, remember, we're looking at this through the lens of a sales pitch.
Right.
We need to bring our critical thinking skills to the table.
So you're saying don't just take the numbers at face value.
Precisely.
Okay.
While the past few years may have seen impressive growth, the future of real estate, particularly in a volatile market like Silicon Valley, is far from certain.
Yeah.
The tech landscape is constantly evolving, and factors like interest rate hikes or a market correction could significantly impact those rosy projections.
That makes sense. It's like they're betting on continued growth,
Yeah,
but the reality is that the market can be unpredictable.
absolutely. And this unpredictability makes it even more crucial to scrutinize the claims and dig deeper into the factors that drive appreciation in luxury real estate.
Okay.
What are the underlying economic trends? The demographic shifts, the long-term infrastructure investments that might sustain such growth. These are the questions a savvy investor would be asking.
So it's not just about the numbers, it's about understanding the bigger picture.
Right.
And speaking of the bigger picture, the script repeatedly emphasizes the word community. But at the same time, there's this undeniable element of exclusivity-gated security, a focus on attracting leaders from various industries.
I see what you mean.
It feels a bit contradictory, don't you think?
It does, and that's precisely why it's so insightful.
Yeah.
It raises the question, what does community truly mean in a luxury setting?
Right.
Is it genuine connection, or is it more about reinforcing that sense of belonging to a privileged circle?
It's like they're saying you can have your privacy and security, but also enjoy the benefits of mingling with like-minded individuals who have achieved a certain level of success.
Exactly.
It's a fascinating paradox.
It is, and it speaks to a fundamental tension in human psychology.
Huh.
We crave connection, a sense of belonging,
Right.
but we also seek distinction, a way to differentiate ourselves from the masses.
Yeah.
Luxury communities like Silver Creek seem to be capitalizing on this duality.
So they're appealing to both our desire for inclusion and our desire for exclusivity.
Yeah,
It's a clever strategy, but how sustainable is this model in the long run?
that's a great question.
Let's fast forward to 2025.
Okay.
The script lays out several predictions: tech resilience, increased demand for spacious homes, a push towards sustainability, and of course those enticing tax benefits.
Sounds promising.
Are these reasonable assumptions? Or more like wishful thinking designed to lure in potential buyers?
Well, some predictions seem more plausible than others.
Like what?
For instance, the demand for space, especially as remote work becomes more prevalent, is a pretty safe bet.
Right.
People are craving room to breathe, both literally and figuratively.
Agreed. And that desire for a connection to nature, for a sanctuary away from the digital noise,
Exactly.
I think that's here to stay as well.
Absolutely.
But what about the tech industry itself? The script seems quite optimistic about its continued dominance.
Well, Silicon Valley has faced challenges before,
Sure.
and it's certainly not immune to disruption.
Right.
However, it's deeply entrenched in the global economy,
Yeah.
and its influence will likely continue to be felt.
Okay.
The question is, how will that influence manifest in the coming years? Will it be a continuation of the current trends, or will we see a shift towards new technologies and a different kind of innovation?
It's like they're betting on the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that the tech landscape is constantly evolving.
Exactly, and this evolution raises interesting questions about the future of work, the role of technology in our lives, and the very definition of success.
So it's not just about whether the tech industry will thrive, but also about how that success will be defined and what role communities like Silver Creek will play in this evolving landscape.
Precisely, and that brings us to another prediction. Sustainability.
Okay.
The script mentions solar-powered homes, EV charging stations becoming standard, a commitment to green living.
It's like they're saying you can have your luxury and save the planet too.
Right, but is it that simple?
I don't know.
I'd say it's a bit more nuanced than that.
Okay.
While the intention is commendable,
Yeah.
translating those ideals into tangible action requires a significant investment and a genuine shift in mindset.
Right.
It's easy to talk about solar panels and EV charging stations, but actually implementing those changes on a community-wide scale is a much bigger challenge.
So you're saying don't just take their word for it, look for concrete evidence of their commitment to sustainability.
Precisely. And be wary of potential greenwashing,
Oh, yeah.
where companies or communities make superficial changes to appear environmentally conscious without addressing the underlying issues.
It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound.
Exactly.
It might look better on the surface,
Yeah.
but it doesn't address the root cause.
And finally, we have the tax benefits.
Ah, yes.
Always a tempting carrot for any investor.
For sure.
The script mentions California's property tax laws and potential federal incentives for green homes,
Okay.
painting a picture of Silver Creek as a financially savvy choice.
It's like they're saying, not only will you live in luxury, but you'll also save a bundle on taxes.
But, as we all know, tax laws are subject to change.
Right.
And what seems like a sure thing today might not be so advantageous tomorrow.
Absolutely. Relying solely on government incentives as a primary investment strategy can be risky.
Yeah. It's like building a house on a foundation of shifting sand.
Exactly.
What seems solid today could easily crumble tomorrow. So while those tax breaks might be enticing in the short term, it's crucial to consider the long-term financial implications of your investment.
And to remember that true wealth goes beyond monetary gains.
Yes.
It encompasses well-being, connection, and a sense of purpose.
Indeed. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the allure of Silver Creek's location, amenities, and the carefully crafted lifestyle it promises.
Right.
But we've also peeled back some layers, questioning the marketing claims and delving into the complex interplay of community, exclusivity, and sustainability.
It's clear that Silver Creek offers a glimpse into a world of privilege and aspiration.
It does.
But it also raises important questions about what truly matters in the pursuit of the good life.
Indeed. And as we delve deeper into the social dynamics and the long-term implications of this model,
Right.
we'll continue to challenge assumptions and uncover the insights that lie beneath the surface. Welcome back to our deep dive into Silver Creek Country Club,
Where we're moving beyond that shimmering facade of luxury amenities and into the heart of what it really means to be a resident of this exclusive community.
Yeah, we're shifting our focus to the less tangible,
Right?
but equally important aspects: the social dynamics, the unspoken rules, the intricate web of relationships that define life within these gated walls.
Because Let's face it, it's not just about the square footage or the thread count of the sheets.
Exactly. It's about the people, the connections, the sense of belonging
Right.
that can either elevate or diminish the experience.
And one of the most intriguing aspects highlighted in the podcast script is this emphasis on networking,
Right. They talk about the country club being a hub where leaders from various industries converge.
creating a fertile ground for collaboration, innovation, and perhaps a little bit of power brokering.
Maybe.
But here's a question for you.
Okay.
What kind of networking are we really talking about here? Is it purely professional, focused on deal-making and career advancement? Or does it bleed into the social and personal realms, blurring the lines between work and leisure?
That's a great question.
Because let's be honest, when you're living in a community like this, surrounded by high achievers with similar aspirations,
Right.
those boundaries can get a bit fuzzy.
Absolutely. And for some, that might be part of the appeal.
Yeah.
The opportunity to forge connections with like-minded individuals, both professionally and socially.
It's like that age-old adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
But in a place like Silver Creek, it might just be both.
And that brings us to another crucial element woven into the fabric of this community, exclusivity.
Right. Its script makes sure to mention the 24/7 gated security, the carefully curated events, the subtle but persistent message that not just anyone can be a part of this world.
It creates a sense of, well, it's special.
It's like they're saying, you've earned your place at the table, now enjoy the privileges that come with it.
But here's the flip side.
Okay.
That same exclusivity can also create a sense of isolation,
Yeah.
a disconnect from the wider world and its diverse perspectives.
It's like living in a gilded cage, surrounded by beauty and comfort,
Right.
but perhaps lacking the richness and complexity of a more integrated experience.
And that raises a crucial question for anyone considering this type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
What kind of environment do they thrive in? Do they value exposure to different viewpoints? Or do they prefer the comfort of familiarity and sameness?
Because let's face it, even the most luxurious surroundings can feel stifling if you're not intellectually and socially stimulated.
Exactly. And speaking of stimulation, the script does highlight a vibrant social calendar with wine tastings, art exhibitions, and other events designed to keep residents entertained.
Which, on the surface, sounds fantastic. But I wonder, what kind of culture are we really talking about here? Is it truly diverse and inclusive, reflecting a wide range of interests and perspectives?
Or does it cater primarily to a specific taste, a curated experience that reinforces a certain image of success and sophistication?
Because, if your idea of a good time involves indie film festivals
Yeah.
or experimental jazz concerts, you might find yourself having to venture beyond the confines of Silver Creek to satisfy those cravings.
That's a good point.
And that's a critical point to consider when evaluating any community, no matter how luxurious.
What is it?
Does the social fabric align with your values, your interests, your definition of a fulfilling life?
Because ultimately, it's about finding a place where you can truly be yourself,
Right.
where you can connect with others who share your passions, where you can feel a sense of belonging that goes beyond superficial markers of success.
So while the script paints a picture of a vibrant and engaging community,
Right.
it's essential to look beyond the curated events and the glossy brochures
For sure.
to ask yourself, what kind of people do I want to surround myself with? What conversations do I want to have? What values do I want to share?
Because the true measure of a community's worth lies not in its amenities or its exclusivity, but in the depth and authenticity of the human connections it fosters.
Now, before we move on to our final segment, I want to circle back to those predictions for 2025.
Yes, the crystal ball gazing.
Right.
Always a fun exercise, but as we know, the future is rarely predictable with absolute certainty.
The script highlights several trends that they believe will make Silver Creek even more desirable in the coming years.
Sure.
Tech industry resilience, increased demand for space, sustainability initiatives, and favorable tax benefits.
Yeah.
All very appealing on the surface.
So let's play a little game of fact or fiction.
I like it.
Which of these predictions do you think are most likely to hold true? And which ones might be more wishful thinking on the part of the developers?
Okay, I'm ready.
I think the demand for space, especially as remote work becomes more prevalent, is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
People are craving room to breathe, both literally and figuratively.
Agreed. And that desire for a connection to nature, for a sanctuary away from the digital noise,
Yeah.
I think that's here to stay as well.
As for the tech industry, while it's certainly a powerful force, predicting its future with any certainty is a fool's errand.
Right.
I'd say it's more likely to evolve, than to simply continue on its current trajectory.
But what about sustainability? The script seemed quite confident about Silver Creek's commitment to green living with its solar panels and EV charging stations.
Well, actions speak louder than words.
True.
While I applaud any community that embraces sustainability, I'd want to see concrete evidence of their commitment, not just marketing claims.
It's like with any big purchase.
Right.
You want to read the fine print, do your research, make sure the product lives up to the hype.
Exactly. And when it comes to sustainability, it's not just about individual choices.
Right.
It's about systemic change.
Yep.
How is Silver Creek addressing its impact on the environment as a whole?
Right.
How is it contributing to a more sustainable future for everyone, not just its residents?
Those are the questions a truly conscientious community would be grappling with.
And finally, we have the tax benefits.
Right.
Always a tempting incentive. But as we discussed earlier, relying solely on government policies as an investment strategy can be a risky proposition.
Yeah, it's like building a house on a foundation of shifting sand.
Exactly.
What seems solid today could easily crumble tomorrow.
So while those tax breaks might be enticing in the short term,
Right.
it's crucial to consider the long-term financial implications of your investment.
And to remember that true wealth goes beyond monetary gains. It encompasses well-being, connection, and a sense of purpose.
Indeed. With those insights in mind,
Okay.
let's transition to our final segment where we'll synthesize all we've learned and draw some overarching conclusions about this glimpse into the world of Silver Creek Country Club.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Silver Creek Country Club.
Where we'll try to piece together everything we've uncovered.
Yeah, and see what it tells us about this exclusive community.
We've explored the location, the amenities,
Right.
the marketing tactics, even the social dynamics, and those intriguing predictions for the future.
Now it's time to step back and ask, what does it all mean? What insights can we glean from this glimpse into a world that many might only dream of?
For me, it's been a fascinating study in contrasts. On the one hand, you have this idyllic vision of a life, filled with luxury, comfort, and a sense of belonging.
Right, but on the other hand, there are these underlying tensions.
Yeah.
These questions about the true meaning of community
Ah.
and the potential downsides of exclusivity.
The script paints a very seductive picture.
It does.
But as we've discussed, it's crucial to look beyond the glossy facade and consider the potential trade-offs.
Like what?
Well, like the fact that exclusivity, while appealing to some, can also create a sense of isolation,
Right.
a disconnect from the wider world and its diverse perspectives.
And that the emphasis on networking, while potentially beneficial for career advancement, could also feel, superficial and transactional to those who value genuine connection.
And let's not forget the focus on luxury, which, while undeniably appealing, might overshadow other important aspects of well-being,
Like what?
such as a sense of purpose, community engagement, and a connection to nature.
It's like they're saying, here's a world where you can have it all.
Right, but at what cost? What sacrifices might one make in pursuit of this particular version of the good life?
Which brings us back to that question we posed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If you were designing a community that truly prioritized well-being and sustainability,
Yeah.
what would it look like? Would it resemble Silver Creek in some ways, or would it take a completely different approach?
I think there are certainly elements of Silver Creek that could be incorporated into a more holistic vision of community,
Like what?
like the emphasis on space, the connection to nature, the commitment to security and privacy. These are all features that can contribute to a sense of peace and tranquility, which are essential for well-being.
But I think a truly thriving community would go beyond those basic comforts.
Yeah.
It would foster genuine connection, encourage diversity of thought, and prioritize sustainability, not just as a selling point, but as a core value woven into the very fabric of the community.
Perhaps it would have a mix of housing options to attract people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, creating a richer tapestry of experiences and perspectives.
And maybe it would have shared community spaces where residents could connect and collaborate on projects that benefit both the community and the wider world.
And instead of a golf course, perhaps there would be a community garden or a nature preserve.
Oh, nice.
Spaces that foster a deeper connection to the environment and a sense of shared responsibility for its well-being.
It's all about striking a balance between individual needs and the collective good.
Right.
Creating an environment where people feel supported, inspired, and empowered to live their best lives.
And recognizing that true wealth encompasses not just material possessions, but
Wow.
also social capital, intellectual stimulation, and a sense of purpose that extends beyond oneself.
So, while a mansion in Silver Creek might not be in everyone's future.
Yeah.
I think we can all learn from their approach and strive to create communities that prioritize well-being, sustainability, and genuine connection.
Whether it's in our own neighborhoods, workplaces, or even online communities,
Right.
there's always room for improvement and innovation when it comes to building a better future.
And that's the beauty of deep dives like this.
Yeah.
They spark our curiosity, challenge our assumptions, and inspire us to think differently about the world around us.
And who knows, maybe by 2025, we'll see a new wave of communities emerge that truly embody those values. Communities that prioritize not just luxury and exclusivity, but also inclusivity, sustainability, and a deep sense of connection to both the people and the planet.
That's a vision worth striving for.
It is.
And until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the topics that fascinate you. Because even a glimpse into a world like Silver Creek can reveal valuable insights about ourselves and the society we're creating.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope it's giving you some food for thought, and it perhaps even inspired you to rethink your own definition of the good life.
Until next time, stay curious.